Downtown Long Beach. Long Beach is a very, in my opinion, quite unique area. There's the port, one of the ports of Los Angeles. If you play GTA 5, you'll recognize some of this. But anyway, we are venturing out of my comfort zone today and working on a boiler, which I kind of feel like a fraud doing, but we got a couple of Raypak high deltas, which I do have a little bit of experience working on from my tenure as the emergency plumber at that homeless building in downtown. That homeless building dried up because the contractor was not getting paid by the county, basically. And so that's why you haven't seen any other videos over there. But basically, this is the flow switch. This is a safety mechanism to make sure the pump doesn't burn out. They have a flow switch and a low water cutoff in here that essentially protects the pumps and stuff like that from getting burnt out. But this sucker, as you can see, is leaking like a sieve, and we're gonna go buy a new one right now. You know, the game, in my opinion, with boilers on how you run a successful boiler business is having all the parts in stock in your van or at your shop, wherever, all the time. Because trying to find these parts at like a Ferguson or Granger, or there's a place in downtown LA, I can't think of the name right now. Trying to get parts for these is very difficult sometimes, and you spend an hour and a half on the phone trying to get parts. And so I would say the game to boilers is most definitely let's shut this off, is having all the parts you could possibly need. Okay. And of course you got to know how to work on them to an extent, right? Is that closing all the way or no? But the first time I ever worked on one of these, the flow switch was leaking, and there was something with the low water cutoff that I had to do as well. So right now I took this all apart trying to find the leak, and then the thing turned on, and then I saw it leaking there. I was like, ugh. So, but we currently have an error code. I'm gonna take this apart, I think, and take it with me to this, I don't know if I mentioned this, but the place I'm buying it from is actually a boiler service company that I have a relationship with. So I don't know if they would do that for everybody, sell parts. And I don't know how much it's gonna cost. They may be like, yeah, it's $1,000. But Granger lead time was like a month before I could get one of those. So it is what it is. Okay, so I just disconnected these. And now, come on, guy. Come on, fella. Come on, fella. I wish I knew more about boilers to where I could come in and be like, yeah, that's this issue. Just gotta work on them more, you know? Ah, there you go. Yikes. Just wanna, there we go. So we'll get this out of the way. And now guy off. I'm gonna need 2 hands, and then we're gonna try to unthread this. Thought I was gonna put up a fight. So I got the water off right here, and I released some of the pressure. I know there's gonna be more water. That worries me. All right. There you go. Sucker was leaking. There wasn't that much water in there. So here are the part numbers. All right, I'm gonna go pick this up. McDonald and Miller. This is not the same brand. I left it in the truck. The other one was Taco, and apparently these work a little better, or last a little bit longer. So here's your flow switch. And basically what I gotta do is take this paddle. I'm likely gonna have to trim it down just a little bit with some tin snips, because I think it's going to be just a little bit longer than the Taco. So you just want to make sure it's not hitting anything back there. So, but it's pretty much a plug and play, and you want to make sure you get these wires wired up properly. So if you ever do this on your own boiler, take a picture of how those wires go before you do anything, trust me. And then I was going to replace this filter, but the guy that was helping me said that one's fine, just rinse it out. The lead time for these were a month at Grainger. Couldn't get through the Fergies. There's a boiler supply place in downtown Los Angeles that I've been to before. I can't remember the name. I know where it's at. But these are $500 if you get them at Grainger. I got this from an actual boiler servicing company that I've worked with in the past. Their name is Porter. I don't know why I couldn't think of that. I was just there. Porter Boiler Service. I got this from them, so they were kind enough to sell this to me. But I don't think they would sell to the public because I told them I'm a licensed plumber. But I've also worked with them in the past, although they didn't really remember me. But I just heard someone come up here. Okay, so I cut this. Took just a little bit off. And then we just secure this on here with these. So let me do that real quick. And you can see the little notch right there? See the little notch? So this just goes on top like so. Okay, the switch is on. Now we need to get this sucker off. Alright, that doesn't work. Love the Klein tool, and take this guy out. Love it. Love the Klein tool. Okay. So you have these, I don't know if you can see it, you have common, normally open, normally closed. Don't ask me to explain what they do. but something with this sucker. Okay, let me get this in. So this is important. You have the direction of flow, and it's different on both sides. So as you can see right here, when you press this, it makes the switch move. So based on the pump being right here, you want the direction of flow going towards me. So you just thread this in. You got to get these pretty tight because there's a lot of pressure. So you get these tight, and then you want, this isn't tight enough, but you want the direction of flow going that way, because when the water's coming through here, it's going to trigger this, and it's pushing the switch this way. So I hope that makes sense, but pretty much just thread this guy in. Okay, now I'm going to punch out. I have to break that off. You want to punch that out, and then we will put this guy back in and run the wires through. Due to the location of this, you want to reference the photo that you took of how these are wired up, and then literally just plug and play these things. I can't really show you because it's facing the pump, because the Taco one was set up a little differently. Okay, we're all in. If you don't have a stubby, you should get one. So, one thing with boilers is air. You want to get the air out. So you got the inlet right here. Let me just make sure. Yeah, inlet. So what you want to do to purge the air, well, first of all, now let's purge it first. Golly. Which way is it? Gosh. There you go. Okay. So the inlet is on. Check for leaks. Nada. So now, what you want to do is purge the air. Jeez. Maybe I should go get a hose. There's no floor drains or anything in here, man. This is a very poorly set up boiler room. Oh, there is one right there. But everything just pools right here. Gosh. Dang, look at that. I can't get it out. It's just a massive flow switch. All right, I should probably get a daggone hose and a nipple, because I can't. Part of the reason we're doing this is because this leak just from this flow switch is going into someone's unit. So this is just, it's just too much water up here. I don't see any of the water actually going into the floor drain, which doesn't surprise me. Okay, let me get a hose. But basically, you just leave that inlet on, and then you drain all the water out until there's no, like, you've seen me purge the air from recirc pumps. It's a similar concept. Oh, but I do need to clean this off. I'll probably use that water. I'll just clean it off with that real quick. All right, inlet's open. I got the hose going outside. I really got to hold this sucker because it needed a lot of water to be purged. But I think we're good now. And these TMPs don't leak like residential ones do on water heaters. They're a little bit more robust than the ones you find on Bradford's. Got everything installed in our panel. We're not getting any electricity here. I called the guy that I bought this from. He said, "Give me a call if you have issues." So I called him, and this is, I don't know what happened. The breaker is not twerking. So I'm gonna leave this off. I'll put these panels back on, but I gotta get out of here. Time for lunchy.